Okay, so herringbone can be quite daunting to fix for many people, but with the right tools and this guide, I believe anyone can do it. Let's show you how. I like to lay a bit of the herringbone pattern out on the floor, and from here you need to mark the center of every other tile, as you'll be drawing a line down it in a moment. But this is a big mistake that many people make. They believe the center is point to point, but it's not. And with any pattern, it doesn't look very good if both the sides aren't symmetrical. You want the left and the right to have the same size cut. So you can see there, I drew a line down it, and that is actually the center of the herringbone pattern. And I've just added the bottom line, which in this case would be the bath, just to show you. And now I've numbered them, so I know what order to put them on the wall to make it a bit easier when you start. So let's center the wall to start with. I always like to get the center, then I double check both sides. And then let's grab our level and sling a line up. I'll also mark a height for the first course of spreading. This is 50 centimeters in this case, so I'll draw a level line there. That's where the points of my herringbone were hit. It's good to start small with herringbone just so you don't get too lost in it. It's important that your first ones that you lay are level and accurate, and then from then on it's pretty plain sailing. So we'll do a bit at a time, just making sure everything is level. And same here, right wall, level line, continuing round, and same on the left. And in tiling, you always work to a line, not your substrate or say bath or shower tray, because in this world nothing's ever level, so trust your own line and work from that. And a little level on the bath here, just to make sure that it's relatively level. I mean, this one particularly has a little bit of a bow in it, but it's nothing unusual. Okay, let's spread up. I'm using an 8mm trowel for this, as the tiles are metro tiles, so they're not the thickest things in the world. I'm spreading away from my center line. I want to keep that visible for when I put my first tiles on. And this is where laying them out on the floor is really handy. With numbering them, you know exactly where they need to go to line the first tiles up. And like I said before, once these are set and level, then you should be good to go. Right, so taking tile number 1, I'm matching the line of the center and the line at the top on the point. And number 2, the line follows the line, they both meet the line. Number 3, again the line is following the center line of the wall. And 4, just a little bit of adjustment there. There's always time to have a little adjustment afterwards. Make sure your bottom cut corner hits the bottom of the bath. Number 6 is our first cut. I'll be using the Sigma tile cutter here with the bar moved to 45 degrees. I really recommend a cutter like this or an equivalent. If you don't, you can always use an angle grinder, but it's just quick on a score and snap cutter. Very easy. Your bar's at 45 degrees. It's perfect for these tiles. And there, that should go nicely. And that completes our starting course. You see we're following the center line down the room. And now we work away from this. Spaces in the joints, just to make sure it's all nice and neat. You sometimes get a bit of variation in tiles because they are natural, so you sometimes just need to budge them around a little bit. What I'm looking to do here is get my top points in first and just make sure they hit the level. Once you know their level, then you're all good. And same here with the bottom cut, I'm just making sure the point hits the bottom of the bath or whatever surface you're tiling to. tried to keep this guide as simple as possible, but once you know the tips, it really is that simple. A little bit more spreading. As always, just ask me in the comments if you've got any other questions. And you can see the patterns coming together nicely now. Another level check. Make sure that third one hits the level. Still looking good. Once you know you're all good, just continue. Any more spaces? After watching this, I'm sure you'll be surprised why so many people are scared of attempting herringbone. It's, say, once you have that centre line, it's really not that hard, and just having the right tool to cut the tiles with. And I'll show you later how to wrap around the corner, which again is not really that difficult. And soon we'll get to filling in the bath cuts. Having a cutter like the Sigma makes life so much more easier for things like this, where you can turn it on a 45-degree angle. I'll show you a bit later how I mark the cutter, so I don't have to keep marking the tiles as well. It just speeds the whole process up. Yeah, looking great. Spaces out and a quick wash. There we go, quick wipe. Get it all nice and clean. And now I'm happy that my first row is good. The pressure's off for going forward from here. There we go, looking great. Right, let's do some more bath cuts. Another easy cut on the cutter, place her in and give her a little wiggle. I mark the rear of the tile here and reverse the mark. I find that easy. You can also do this with a tape measure, whatever suits. And here I mark the cutter on the mark, so every time I need to do that cut, I know it's going to be the same because the bath's relatively level. So I just put the tile on that mark, cut through, and away you go. You can write down your marks just so you don't forget which one's for which. Got a bit more gear in the corner. And in she goes. And then repeat. These cuts are all cut on the same mark that I marked on the cutter. Carry on spreading the right side. Okay, still hitting the bath, so that's good. And then repeat, as it is a repeating pattern. After all. Right bath cut, still using my mark on the cutter, and the same with the left one here. Same with this corner mark, I mark the back of the tile and then flip it over and reverse the mark. Again, you can use a tape measure or whatever you find easier to mark this, and I'm showing you there what I'll be taking off. And again, I can cut these all the same as I put a mark in my cutter. Keep the bit that comes off, because that's the most important bit, that it be wrapping around the wall. So you'll be fixing that later. So I put a little number or letter on it just so I remember which one's which. As you can see there. And the left side, just the same thing here. This side I actually marked it with a tape just to show you different ways of doing things. But yeah, so just get the measurement, mark the cutter, cut it at 45, and then away you go. There we go, that's that section all completed. And you can see there what it'll look like once the wraparound goes. I just drew it on the wall there, and here it is. You see A lines with A, B with B, etc. And yeah, it looks really great. This is all flowing nicely, and it's all symmetric and parallel. And that's because how you learnt to centre the tile at the beginning. You can see I've filled in the right there, the same as the left, and that's it. You just carry on from there. Thanks for watching. You should have the knowledge now to take on your own herringbone projects. Enjoy, like and subscribe if you liked. See you soon.